So this is our first live in the new setup. And this is, of course, live practice, where we practice editorial skills, magic, or just setup and organization. Because you can see that the space is wider. Well, camera angle is anyway, but everything else is kind of stuck together because it's a smaller room. So we're just making sure that the live is active before we get into all of that. Okay, so we are live over here. So I'm just paying attention to the after. There's a word for it. I apologize. I want to get my chat up and running. The after image maybe, but it's basically like this is what you guys are seeing, but that's not what I'm seeing. On mine, it's very light. Over here it is not. So sound is working just fine. I don't know about you, but I get real distracted with hearing my voice in my head. Well, you know what I'm saying. I have it on monitoring, and I'll turn that off. Okay. Perfect. Okay, so I can't hear myself talk anymore, but if I look over here, I can see the green bar moving. Anytime that you want to start your videos, just jump into your whatever your program I'm using, OBS. Make sure that you are looking at all of your things to make sure that that bar is moving, make sure everything's loading properly, make sure that you're moving too, because sometimes you might be moving on your cam, but you're not moving on your screen, so connection issues. But anyway, everything looks good there. We're pretty solid with the sound. My microphone is set up over here. You can see it in the wide shot, which is fine, right? So when you turn here, you're going to be able to hear it. You want it about a foot away from yourself. Maybe in front would be a little bit better, but you're still getting a good angle of sound. But if I do happen to turn over here, obviously that might be a little bit different of sound quality because then it has to travel through my head. Now, let's talk about what's in the background here because it's so much stuff. Now, at the old studio, we had more room. So we had more shelving, which is great. Here, not so much. So we kind of have to optimize everything that we've got. So let's jump back over here. I just want to make sure I'm keeping an eye on the chat because sometimes, I got 2 people watching. Fantastic. Sometimes what happens is I'll get so bogged down with the activity or talking and I forget to check the chat. So I want to make sure I'm doing that. And the way that I like to do that is, let's see, managing moderators can support your channel. Oh, perfect. Yeah, if I ever get to the point where I have double-digit people watching, moderators would be pretty necessary, I think, at that point. Or recurring people that want to become moderators and they prove themselves up to the task appropriately, then we're good. So what I've done here is I've popped out my chat and I'm putting that off to the side. And then I'm bringing my OBS back up so that I can see both at the same time. And I kind of line that up on my screen. Now, with OBS, I do have the capability to actually show you what I'm doing on my screen, but that's not really what this live is for. So that's just organization on my part, just so I can monitor both the live stream mechanically and the chat at the same time. Whether if I'm just looking at YouTube, I might be missing some of those behind the scenes things and I won't have the ability to switch. I do have my Stream Deck in one of these boxes so that we can get that back out as well. And we're just kind of working on this setup. This is actually probably the best shot that I've done because this gives you the most angle. But we have so much stuff back here that we want to really take care of it and get all that planned out. But before we do all that, I did want to try a card trick. Make sure that everything can be seen clearly. Now, these are the Memento Moris, designed by Chris Ramsey. Yes, of course. Now, usually the problem that I have is that with the lighting that I use, it just kind of clears everything. Now, on my camera, it's super bright. I can barely see it. But for you guys, you can kind of tell that that is going to be a 7? No, an 8. I can't count. Yes, counting is the problem. You can kind of see that that's what it is. Perfect. Okay, let's try another one. See that one? Okay, look at that. Now, I don't know if you can really tell. Maybe you can tell better than I can. That that's a jack? Oh, it's a king. But again, maybe you can tell and I can't. Now, the only thing I can't see here is I can't see how many people are watching, which maybe is better for the video itself. I mean, obviously, if I have people watching and they're asking questions and there's interaction, great. If I can only see that it's just me watching, well, then we might get sad. But that's fine. Anyway, okay. So this is a nice little one that we do from time to time. And I enjoy it. So here's what I want to have happen here. Let's take a look at all the cards here. I did have something set up with all the 7s. All 4 7s are together. But we're actually going to separate them, just so you know that real magic is happening here today. They are in the pack, they are separated. Trust me. Now we're going to have a card selected at random. And that card today is going to be the 8 of Hearts. Very cool. Now, we could take the 8 of Hearts and we could move it somewhere into the pack. Like, say, somewhere in the center. Great. Now, a good number. Say, I mean, if there's somebody watching, you can actually drop a number in the comments. I'll wait the prerequisite 20 minutes. Just pick a number. If not, I'll pick one. Now, it's kind of a fast count, but for 20 seconds, the reason why is because I have found in the past that that's what the delay is between my live and here. Now, obviously, I can jump back over to YouTube real quick just to verify. So that's not too bad. I mean, I got some pretty good relay between the two. I'm not losing much, obviously, considering the internet's on the other side of the house. But anyway, I don't see a number here, so let's go ahead and just pick a number. Let's go with 14. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, and 14. I forgot to mute the... I forgot to mute my live again. Just verifying how much time. Anyway. So, 14. We selected the 8 of Hearts. We counted down 14 cards. And because I'm the magician, I can have your card appear. Right there. Now, we could do this a little bit differently, too. How about we take 8 cards? There's your card. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Now we have 8 cards. Plus your 1 card. Let's see here, 4 and 4. Is that what we got? No, we got 9. Perfect. Okay. Now here's what we're going to do. We're actually going to pick a random card. And that is the 8 of Spades. You know what? I don't like that one. We could use that one. That's fine. I just wanted something different than an 8. 2 of Hearts. Now we're going to spell that out. Because this is a magic spell. TWO. Always going to have the of in the middle. And then hearts. HEART and S. On the live, that's why I got to practice more. But you know what? I think we did mess up. The ace of clubs is pretty good, but I think where the mistake was is, yes, magic. Magic, you say? Yes. MAGIC. As in, did you see what I did there? With your 8 of hearts? Hotcha. So yes, gorgeous. We do got some pretty good magic on here. You can see better than I can. Really. Because on my angle, I'm blinded by the lights. But for you guys, you got some good visuals there. Except for all of this mess in the background. So, that being considered, why don't we start over here? Some of this might just be old garbage. Or just stuff that we don't need. Let's see here. Yeah, so I can create a pile of stuff that I don't need. Garbage. Some of these are papers that are pretty cool because they're sent with some of the magic that you buy. They'll use old clippings and whatnot. And the fun part about going through these boxes and cataloging our magic is that we haven't done it in so long that I might have forgotten what we actually have. This is a nice little 3-card Monty trick that I haven't practiced in a while. We have 3 that are lit up. You can tell with all the red backs. And then you go from there. But you know what? That's a fun one just to keep out. It's cold on these winter nights. We could use some candle work. You know what I'm saying? That's the fun part. We find magic that we haven't really done a whole lot with in a while. This is a project concept idea that I got for the purpose of doing magic with. But when I first started using the mystery eggs, they didn't have the little bits at the top. But now, for some reason, every time that I go to buy something, they have a little bit on the top. So I got to go back to like ordering online. The rainbow corns that are about a little bit smaller than this are perfect for what I use it for, because it's just a perfect egg with nothing else extra. Maybe sometimes they might have little bits on the top, but nothing like that, which kind of really hurts the effect that I go for. I mean, I could still do it, but it's not the same. Just checking chat over here. What do we got in here? Let's see. That's another light fixture. We have extra lights here. So that's something that we're going to want to keep somewhere. So far, I've got this stuff here. This is a project that I'm working on for a stage magic parlor. Like, it's definitely not something that I would do close up. I mean, I could, but it doesn't appeal in that fashion. It's definitely for a party or something like that. So I'd love to have it finished. I got a little bag here. With the little bag, I got some pencil sharpener and crayons. So probably just give that to the kids. So I'll put that over here. Kids pile over here. And I do have a notebook because I've got to constantly take notes with a torn page. That's garbage pile. Let's see. Oh, that's records that we got to save. Haha, 1 knee pad. Not sure what the other one is. I don't know, somewhere. Oh, buddy. Those are dirty. But I can put them over here just in case I want to wear some aviators. That's fun. A hat. Winter hat. Nice. Nice and fluffy. my insurance policy. Good to have. This is the outdated one that we avoid some of the text on here. So it's unfortunate, but the time period, things like that. Helen Keller book. That's fun. Does I have something in here? I don't. Somebody did. Oh. My card counter. See if it still works. Yep, still works. Card counter, I said? Card mixer. Little drawer. Mixed everything up. That's fun. Let's see. We've got some novelty cards. This is Benjamin Franklin, and then this is from Chicago. So I usually kept my novelty cards just in a pile somewhere. Nothing too fancy with those. They're just things that I would probably never do any magic with unless it was very specific, like the American Expedition playing cards. Like, they're just novelty decks. But these are fun. The No Drama Llama playing cards. If the back design was what was the box itself, it would be spectacular. But it does in fact have the llama on it, so it's not perfect. But I found them at Dollar Tree, Family Dollar. That's it. They just had random cards. I was like, oh, let me get them. Let's see what else we got here. Jumbo cards. Magic postcard. I like to keep that out for display purposes. I like to keep the jumbo deck just in case I want to mix up some, big effects for you. You know what I'm saying? Let's see. More records. More notebooks. Here's my Cups and Balls box. Probably could have put the Cups and Balls in the box. Gotta push them every once in a while just so I remember I have them. See, did I put the puzzle back in here? Oh, buddies. Yep. Key puzzle. This is a lot of fun. This was obviously, you saw that I had the Memento Moris and Chris Ramsey, so I was pretty, for a while there, watching Chris Ramsey for quite a bit. Let's see. Not that complicated. What's your problem? Okay, I think come around like that, then through there, back around like so, twist it around, get through there, and come back through there. Haha, I did it. Yeah. So getting it back through once you get it off is fairly easy because you've already just done it. So the linking keys is a lot of fun. Puzzles are just a good way to pass the time. So keep that out for the funsies of it. I got my little, let's see, what's his name? Little hot rod skull shaker. As he goes down the road, the head wobbles. So this is, some of this stuff is just shelf, like top shelf knickknack, toy stuff. Just for quick stuff to play with. I do have this, which I had bought a set of wood puzzles and promptly forgot about them. That's how you do business. Am I right? I'm not right. Don't do that. So this one was pretty much already together in there. They just came apart a little bit. There you have it. Little wooden. Oh, that does sometimes happen. But there you go. So that's going to be something that's going to live on the shelf for sure. Let's see. Other little things I got here are little Rubik's Cube stands. I got to find the Rubik's Cubes, wherever they're hiding. I have an old mask that's probably can go in the garbage now. And another hot rod. This one is Croc Rod, because it's a crocodile. This is a connection to my camera. I have to check it out to see if it still works, because this is a US A, I believe is what it was. It's like old. It's not really something that's in use a whole lot now, so the only way I could find it was either online or I had to go buy a set that had all of the different ends attachments. The Smart Snakes. Oh, that's a acquaintance that does snake work. Snakes and spiders. Headphones, and I'm missing one. And of course, from nowhere, in particular, a playing card. Yes. That's a old load from something. Okay. So now the good news is I have an empty box, which I can then proceed to backfill other things into if I need to organize even further. I have an empty box for that. Because some of these boxes are probably going to fall apart, so if I need to transfer, I've got one. So yay! Don't mess up the camera. Perfect. Okay. Next, what do we got going on down here? Ah, yes. So this is the rest of that desk stuff that I was talking about. This is my little gaming keyboard thing. I haven't really done a whole lot of gaming, but I could jump on to different games. I have a couple. I don't know if what's still popping out there, what's kicking, what I've got. But I could do it for the funsies of it. This was a cool... Now I'm doing that thing that I was talking about, where I'm facing the other direction from the camera. So, just so I know I'm not messing... That's not the word I'm looking for. Just so I know I'm not... That way, I'm checking the quality, just so you can still hear, even though I'm turned the other direction. Testing, 1, 2, 3... Sounds perfect. Well, it's not perfect, but it's close enough. So basically what that does is just so I know that you guys can still hear me. If you're popping on and I'm not paying attention, you know what's going on. We're organizing our office and just hanging out. It's a live practice. Every once in a while we'll do some magic or something. So this was from Copeland Coins. This was part of the Loop program. Absolutely stellar packaging. This is something I haven't put together yet. It is a little pendulum boat. It's yeah. I wanted to put it together on a live, but I haven't had the opportunity to do so. Perfect. Oh. I say perfect, but then I dump them out. As you can see on my wrist, I'm down to one rubber band. They've just steadily broken. So now I'm going to reload them up. Typically what I like to do is I like to have at least one of each color. And then I will load one of it. Since I have two light blues here, I'll load two light blues. And then that way I might even, let's just throw a yellow on there right now too. So I didn't get a pink or whatnot, but I don't need all of them. So basically what that lets me do is if I want to do two different colors so that you can see clearly, there's one yellow and one blue. And then obviously because one is lighter than the other, it will actually pass right through. But yeah, so I can do two different colors, distinctive appearance, or I can do two of the same color for, certain effects that might require two of the same. This is my EDC cups and balls. This is not the one that I want for my travel set. The one that I actually wanted was $20, and that's not working out yet. So basically what it is the one I wanted two different sets. Basically one is the plastic, I think it's plastic, but basically the pop-up cup set. So it'll come with 3 cups. They're like camping things, or they can be for anything, but initially they were like part of a camping set. They pop up, you can do 3 cups and balls, or I can just do 2. I can also use the bowl for some bigger effects. And then the other set that I wanted was kind of like a tin, pop-up tin set, so the material was metal. So there's some, and then what I might do with that is I might line the bottom with felt or something, and just do something with that. That's the idea. So I'm just taking a look at the live over here. Engage with your audience. Oh, okay. I see that. Yes. Well, I don't know if I have an audience, so 2 are still watching. So I appreciate whoever's watching. I think one of them is me. So if there's a second person, good on you. Back to this. Okay. Perfect. I want to get my silk out because I like to change that out. Right now I carry the ribbon, the rainbow ribbon, all the color and all that fun stuff. Let's see here. I'm not going to pull on that because that's my Stream Deck. So get my Stream Deck set up over here. Let's see, this is just a bigger silk that I might like to do for a tabletop effect. It's got some ropes on it, some flowers, so it's appealing if I wanted to have a bigger set for something. I could use it for the silk, but it's not going to be like a vanishing silk. It could be, but that's not what I use it for. And let's see. Oh, here's the box to the cards that I put over here. This is what happens when you have children and they want to play with your cards. Instead of opening the box, they just tear the top off. So I've had to replace a couple of decks because of that. But, such is life. Here we go. The old Calico. I want to get that back out, up and running, because I want to have a couple of coin sets that I want to switch through, and I want to get back to learning that. Now, there is an effect, not just from the book, but like in general that I've learned, like from Doug Kahn and stuff, which is where you have a coin appear on your shoulder. I don't know why my shoulders are not great. Maybe it's the clothes that I wear. Maybe it's the way my posture. But I can never get the coins to stay on my shoulder. So I kind of avoid that effect. So I do have to get back to the book to learn a different one. It's Jupiter. Because why not? Here's my steampunk sunglasses. They're held together with a little bit of a rivet, and this side popped off. So I might either have to get a new rivet or toss them. I could take them off, or potentially just wear them as is, and it still has that effect because maybe it looks more worn. You know, that's fine. I collect sunglasses to some extent. I've broken a couple this last year, so I need to get some new ones. Flash. That is a That's a good trick. You should check it out. Maximum Entertainment 2.0. This past year, we actually did a read along where I went through every single day for that month and I read a different chapter. And then we talked about it. You can go check it out. But here's the thing, I've got two of them. Why do I have two of them? Nobody asked. Because nobody participated in the giveaway. But this channel will still hold true to the giveaway. So got some books out, so that's good. I'll start a pile for books, magic books over here. Here's a big book that I have to work my way through. This is Jim Kleefeld, Kids Show Tricks. This is a big deal. Like, I could go through here and just make stuff. This is where this penguin thing over here that I was talking about, this kids show thing, that's a trick in and of itself. It's a good runner. What's interesting about this is it came with a USB stick that is different than what I've ever seen before. It is basically like a key card type thing. There's something that folds out that has the chip on it that you put into your computer. So it kind of just sits on the side of your computer when it's plugged in. It's quite interesting. But yeah, there's dialogue options, there's Halloween joke options, there's fonts. It's something cool that he offers that's on the drive for printing stuff off. And you just get a lot of material in these books. So I got to go back this year and pick up some more stuff. Because I have this one and wherever it's at. Anyway, it's Kids Show Matters. It's like a big compendium for magic for kids. Kids shows and stuff like that. So that's the Halloween one. I got the Kids Show Matters. You meld them together and you get an amalgamation of superior magic stuff. I don't know. It's a compendium. Anyway. Little books. I got a couple of these Scotch and Sodas. I have a journal. I have Methodical. This is a Phantasm book. This is Thumb Tip Work. And another Scotch and Soda. Oh, and a Stripper Deck and Svengali. So I think these are the same. So I actually have two of the Scotch and Soda. So that's fun. Plus I have a third Scotch and Soda, but it's a different book. But yeah, I had to replace. So here's the thing with Scotch and Soda that's interesting. You clearly see that it's in this case, it's a 50-cent piece and it's Mexican centavo, I believe, is what you got there. It's copper and silver effect. The problem is there's a lot of moving parts, and if you misplace one of them, you got to buy a new one. So I've had to buy a new one. Anyway, they're fun little books, because here's what I did. As a brief side, I'm looking at the time, because I do have to go to my day job. Or night job, because I work at night. But anyway, here's what I did. So basically, I wanted to work my way through the Thumb Tip book. So I sat down and I read the whole thing cover to cover. I took notes of what I liked and what I didn't like, or what applied to the effect that I wanted to do. And then I took that and I basically read it through, took mental notes of which ones I liked, the effects, the ideas, all that. Then I went back through after I had the props that I was going to use for the effect that I wanted to build, and then I read through the book again to make sure that I was using it to its full potential, and then I practiced until I basically got that down. And I think it's actually time for me to come back to the book just to rehash out out some of those little details. And it's fine to do so. Nothing wrong with coming back for extras. Anyway, there's a lot of small stuff in here that I might not make it through, but I got some cards, effects, some books, more books. Let's see if we can get the rest of the books out of here. So, Lost in the Shuffle. Here's why I'm laughing. So, I own this, and I've never opened it, but I've watched the entirety of it. Yeah, I've watched the entirety of it. Because it was free on YouTube. Anyway, a collection of drawing room deceptions and other card conjurings by Guy Hollingworth. This is on the list, so get it if you can. It's a good one. Built to Last. This should never leave my site. That's got to come back out. I got to get that back in the... If I can get my laptop, or I got to get another DVD player, because I think the laptop that I used to use broke. So, got to get a new one. Anyway. Rubik's Cube. This came with... I just put all my Magic book stuff together. It came from this box. Juggling, Learn to Juggle. I'll keep that out because I want to get back to it. And this was just a fun little thing that I grabbed while I was out one day. And these are basically just colorful books on how to play certain games. Blackjack, poker, favorite card games, solitaire, and rummy. This is another thing that, video ideas where I could go through these books and kind of teach how to play card games. So I thought that would be fun. Because I figured if I'm a card guy, I should be playing card games. The card game of choice that I typically play is, what is this? I play euchre. This is a micro USB. Not sure what I'll be using that for. Nothing probably. For right now. A lot of little Magic stuff. I got some bags for balloons. I've got my... This was my Wonder Twist Entertainment failed prints. I have like a little business card thing. I tried to get thicker paper and I was going to print off. I probably could get, if I downsize that, probably 8 of them. So I could get 8 to that and then I could cut them out. Yeah. But anyway, this is one of the things that I did for Wonder Twist Entertainment. That's the little logo that you saw for the video today, because that's my business. I do balloon twisting and magic shows, but the reality of it is that if I want to advertise this business and really get it off the ground and make as much potential out of it as I can, balloon twisting is the way to go. It's an easily marketable thing. You go grab yourself a pump, you get yourself a book, which I actually have it right over there, I think. I had it out already, and it was basically just the balloon twisting, a whole guide of balloon twisting, and I learned maybe 20, 30, 40 of them variation methods to make quick balloon animals. I go on to TikTok with a friend of mine, who's a Christian magician. I call him a friend. He's a social media friend, and we kind of go back and forth on TikTok. We haven't done it in a while, and I'm really going to have to jump on there and hang out with him again soon, because I learned some fantastic things from him. He can help me brush the dust off, because it's winter, and I was just getting things started, and then I kind of stopped. So this is garbage. Big money. Jumbo coin. That's one of 2 that I have. I like to keep it out because I like to play with ideas for it. And let's see here. Someone asked me the other day, because I had my ring on, they had asked me where I got it, because they just wanted a simple little wedding band, and I recommended the Aeon rings from Benjamin Mee. I couldn't remember his name while I was out and about, and it's from Illusionist. At least that's where I got it. And it was $20. That's it. It comes with the set of instructions for how to do the magic. That's on the back here. I'm not going to show you that. But it comes with the 5 different rings. Everything from the 13 down to the 9, possibly. Yeah, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. So you get a good allotment of rings, and for $20, you get some good magic. Just even if it's some beginner magic up to some exceptional magic, it's at least something to get you started, and it gives you 5 rings. So you can gift rings to somebody, or you can still working on it. Maybe I'll keep it out because maybe I'll actually put it together now, which is a concept of a resizing effect, which basically allows me to pick an audience member, kind of gauge what size they are based on looking at their fingers, and then when I take my ring off, I hand them the ring, and when they put it on, it fits them perfectly, even though their finger is clearly not a sausage link. That's the concept. That's the idea. Obviously, I have to pick somebody who has different size fingers than me, because it really needs to feel like it's going on like it's a perfect match. And that's just to show the fact that the ring has resized itself, which is a concept from Dungeons and Dragons. Magic rings refit themselves to fit the person. So it's a cool concept. I would need to get the ring back, but if you really, at the end of the day, if you had a spectacular show and this is a big deal thing, and you want them to have a memento that they could take home, you could let them keep the ring. You got 4 others, obviously a 13 and a 12. I mean, it's really just the, it's a concept idea. Don't just take it at face value there, just for fun. Again, some more playing cards. I finally trying to get out here is the Stream Deck. Get that set up. Yep, we're at about 42 minutes here. Made it through 2 boxes. Too much talk. Talk. Anyway. Yeah, a lot of this other stuff is just little minor magic effects. A wand. The cool thing about the wand, there in my pocket, is it's magic, right? Now, what I like to do with the wand is that's not the wand. That's a toothbrush. Supposed to stick, but I think it doesn't do it anymore. This is called the Mischievous Wand Effect. Huh. I didn't realize. I guess it is one of these. Or it is the one that I have that's like this. This is actually a kinetic wand. Yes, the kinetic wand. If you do that right, and it's been a while since I've done it, that looks great. There's a couple of different ways that you can, of course, do it. And the way that I manipulate the wand is I create the movement, point the wand at them to use the effect. So that then when I'm stretching it out a little bit, it's great. The wand can actually move up as if by magic. It's cool. Now, the effect that I did with it is that instead of it just moving a little bit, I actually have it jump from hand to hand because there's kinetic energy stored in the wand. Cool, right? Well, the Mischievous Wand Effect is a concept where as I go throughout my magic show, every time that I go to reach for my wand, wherever I put it, I go to grab it. And for instance, in this case, let's say I just put the wand under my arm, and then now I come in and I'm just, haha, oh, wait a minute, that's a toothbrush. What's going on here? So it's just Mischievous Wand because the wand keeps turning into other things. So again, what's cool about that effect is I use it maybe 2 or 3 times, and then I have a punchline at the end, which is really cool. But I don't have a setup for that right now. I don't want to give it away on the slide. So it is something that I have to practice. And it's cool because I got this idea from I think somebody was telling me about it. I've never been to like a really big concert, but somebody was telling me back in the day they went to a concert for, I want to say Metallica or somebody. I mean, maybe even somebody watching this in the future will know what I'm talking about. Basically, when the band would perform, they wouldn't sing all their songs from beginning to end. They would actually start singing one song, and then they would switch to a different song, switch to a different song, switch back to that song, and they would keep going throughout the whole set. And they created a completely unique performing event with their songs and their music, because every time you went to the concert, it wasn't just them playing the music. They're not, it's not like a studio. They're going to perform it in a unique way. And so my idea is obviously, why not make the magic show as dynamic as possible by making it so that the effects kind of loop together and they transition really well. So of course, this is the appearing cane. Yeah, a lot of fun. A lot of fun. I have a couple of different appearing cane effects. I do have an appearing wand, but it's not the same. It's not as good. Like I said, the rest of these things are just little tiny magic effects. Here's the... These were actually things that were sitting on the desk before I moved from the other place, which basically made it so that these were the little toys that I play with. They were the little magic concepts that I wanted to try to work in and do whatever with. So, if the other one was the appearing cane, this is the appearing wand. Gorgeous. Yeah. There's no way to really fold that back up in a nice way. And I think this thing cost me all of 50 cents. I don't even know if it was... it's probably more than that, unfortunately, but yeah. And it's cool, though, because you can really hold that in your hand. So, to make the magic happen, just... and then it appears. Obviously, it is kind of noisy, but it's unfurling, so why wouldn't it be? The other things that I have here, got a couple of watches. I think this one has a dead battery. But every time that I think about it, I show this watch off because this is my kinetic watch, which means that there's a mechanism in here that kinetic forces. When you're moving your wrist, it actually charges it. So this has been sitting in this box for over a month, and I just move it a couple of times, and it starts ticking. Gorgeous. It says it's Saturday the 26th. It is not, in fact, Saturday the 26th. We're going to have to set that and start wearing it again now that I found it. The joys of moving. I definitely don't want to leave it there because things are sliding around. Put it over here. Haha! I have one of these. What's this called? Forgot what it's called. I think it's a capture card or something like that. And basically you plug it in, plug the HDMI into here, and then you're good to go. Which is probably why my camera isn't working. Because I need to use that and not the other thing that I was using. I need this, which is my extender for my USBs, because I run out of USB stuff quite easily, I might add. There's 3 on there, but that's not really enough, and there's 4 on the extender. So using up 1, so there's only 2, and then you're adding 3 more. So you're getting 5 total USB. Problem is that I can't run all of them because some of the stuff requires more magic stuff, more digital transfer than what that allows. So you need a heftier, extender. So I got a couple of cups and balls in here. I think I have 3 different sets of cups and balls in here. Purple, gold, and mummy. Now, using my acrobatic skills to bring it over here with my foot. Or lack thereof of acrobatic skills, as they say, because it wasn't working. Anyway, there's a bunch of cups and balls effects. Little miniature ones are cool. Let's see. There's a ring. This is the fun little ring. Just an extra little ring that I wear. A little bit smaller. But it still appears back on my finger. I like this one over this one in some fashion because this one's silver and it's harder to see than the one that has the color on it. So, but I do like to change it up because I like to wear rings. But really what I'm kind of trying to find is I'm trying to find my wedding band. Oh, here's my Ace of Hearts. So I have two of these. I have an Ace of Hearts and I think an Ace of Spades. And I use that as a reveal effect because I'll just walk you through it real quick because I do have to sign off here in about 5 to 10 minutes. But basically I start with the regular ring and it looks close enough to it that it's fine, in my opinion. And so this is a blank ring. There's nothing on it, right? And then I do the card trick where I have the Ace of Hearts, in this case, show up. And then I work my way through the trick. Great, fantastic. Everything's working out really nice. And then at the end, we're like, there's your card. Boom. They look at it. It's blank. I'm like, oh, well, where'd the print go? Where'd the Ace of Hearts go? And then I look down at my ring, and I'm like, oh, it's on my ring. My ring actually took it. And so I've switched out the card, and I switched out the ring. Beautiful. Let's see. Here's my packet tricks, one of them. This is the Sympathetic Jacks. That's a fun one to like to have on hand. Got a couple other tricks in there. The ball and vase. So the last time that I moved, I had a red set. A red one of these. And I never found all the pieces after I moved. So I don't know what happened there. So Card Mechanic came out with the beta set. This is the V2s of the Canis Lupus. He came out with the beta set, which was on Kickstarter, and I'm pretty sure I missed it. So check those out. Hopefully I have a chance to get them aftermarket. Aftermarket? That's probably not the right word for that. Okay, some other stuff in here. Some more cards. This was a fun one. The Elites. I got this from a giveaway. So somebody won the giveaway. And they live internationally. So the person doing the giveaway was like, unfortunately, I can't do this for you. And so they watched me as well. And they're like, hey, give it to him. So I got him. Descendants from Card Perfect. His name's Elijah Myers. But Card Perfect something. Can't remember that. I do apologize. I can't remember the name offhand for the guy that got it. A couple more books, I believe. This is the Magic Show book. Basically, every page has a different magic effect. It's something cool that if you get it, you can definitely put one together. I was carrying this around for quite a while because I finally got the t-shirt. The Magic Show shirt from Magic Orthodoxy. Not his fault, but the vendor. Took me 4 months to get it. With like they communicated, but basically the communication was no production or whatever it was. So and then it just showed up, and I'm like, oh cool. Anyway, this is the Method of Forcing. Title name is questionable, but yeah. So basically comes down to cards or other mentalist effects that allow you to force an idea or card. And so I keep that out because it's nice to be able to work some of those ideas into your routines and just kind of. There's one that I do with an 8-ball, the 8-ball effect, that I really enjoy. I keep the deck set up for that way too. I can just pick up the deck, pick up the 8-ball, and now I've got a routine using an 8-ball. Let's see, a broken phone, a Rubik's Cube with fruit on it, more rubber bands, put those back in the bag. Balloons, balloons, and balloons, and balloons. If you live locally and you want to hire a balloon twister, Wonder Twist Entertainment. Yeah. Add a little bit of wonder to your next event. My first magic show, I think, is the book. Oh no, this is the box. There's a box that this comes with. Has a lot of cool stuff in it. Another magic book, basically. Another composition notebook. Did I use this one? Oh, yes. It's a good thing I got this back out. I didn't get my magic show up and running. My Christmas magic show. I don't always dedicate everything. But so this is my Christmas magic show that I was working on. I have that. And yeah, so that's kind of cool. But I lost. Well, I didn't lose it. I had it packed away, and I never got it back out. The magic eyebrows. Haha! Magic eyebrows. Yes. The magic eyebrows are black and white. Oh, sorry. That's purple and white. That's fine. Anyway, so you have the purple one that is definitely bigger than the white one. Just kidding. The white one is actually bigger. Now, of course, if you're wondering about the black one is bigger than the white one. And of course, if you're thinking about the purple and black, the black one is smaller than the purple one, which was smaller than the white one. I've kind of lost track, but that's okay. All I do know is that the white ones are the same size. That's the important thing to remember at the end of the day. Yeah. They're fun. They're a nice little optical illusion toy. You can totally kill it with that and just make some jokes. It's fun. And of course, eyebrows. Made it almost made it through this box. More playing cards. Svengali Magician's Deck. Fun stuff. Now we're creating a tower over here. Okay. Well, let's go ahead and take a look. We're going to finish up this box. I got to get my balloon bag back out so I can start advertising that again. Clean up all my table stuff. And get back to it. I really appreciate anybody who jumped on, even if you just stop in to see what we're doing. We're just having fun. We're making a mess while we're trying to clean up a mess. It's fun. And I like the angle of the shot. I think the card work did pretty well. I will have to do some coin work for you next time. Haha. You're thinking it's behind the hand. It's not. Or is it? I don't know what I'm doing. Let's see if I can make this work. I can actually take, it's kind of a perception thing, and I talk about perception. The closer it gets to you, the bigger it is. But the further away it gets, the smaller it gets. Yeah, you can even see the moment that it just disappears. Like that. And it's gone. Never to be seen or heard from again. Until the magician reaches into his pocket and gets it out. It's a lot of fun here on the channel. Really appreciate anybody who joins us. Really appreciate it. Beard's coming in. Cold this time of year. Got the long hair. What are we doing? I don't know. We're just hanging out. Anybody who's curious, anybody that wants to jump on, maybe we'll do YouTube Live is really just for me to play around. For anybody who hasn't noticed, this is just this is my hangout section. This is just where I'm live doing the things that I would normally do, just so I have an opportunity to get on camera and do some practicing for you. And it's a lot of fun. And great, everything's kind of worked out pretty well. Let's go back, just because we're at the end here. We're going to go back in here and make sure that the sound is still good. Sound is great. Studio mode. On accident. Okay, I think we're going to call it wrap. We got all this stuff out of the box. The box is almost empty. Just a couple more little things towards the bottom there. And we're going to call it good for the day. I keep looking over here. And I don't know if that works out too well. I might have to move this setup. Maybe if I turn the setup sideways. I've got my picture over there. Maybe that would be good in the background. But I got this stuff in the background that I want to organize top to bottom so it looks nice. And it gives me an opportunity to grab stuff off the shelf. And it gives some depth to the room. I can move the whole setup that way, maybe about 1.5 feet. Possible. We'll see how it goes. But I really do appreciate you guys joining us today here in the studio. Thank you, everybody. And remember, stay positive, stay active, and stay awesome. And hopefully, we see you in the next